Lovely Friday here in Wisconsin, placed in shelter with your host, Ryan Catarozoli. As always, if you want to join us live and be a part of the conversation, you can use the link in the description below, 3 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Fridays. And today, I'm going to start out with a quarantine update as usual. And I thought this was a pretty good one. So I'm sitting in the office today, and you can see the window out behind me. All of a sudden, my daughter starts screaming bloody murder, all right? Screaming, Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad. And most of the time when she screams like that, it's a fly or something stupid. She's got this huge fear of bugs. I don't know. Keelan looked it up, and I think over the time of evolution and as humans were coming about, those that were afraid of bugs were more likely to survive than somebody that liked to play with them, because then you get bit and die and whatnot. So I don't really believe it. I think she actually saw an episode of Fancy Nancy where she was wearing flowers on her head and all the bugs started swarming her head and she freaked out. And ever since then, she hates bugs. But it wasn't a bug. It wasn't a bug, because shortly after she started screaming, she said, Mommy, Daddy, there's a dragon in the backyard. We're like, a dragon? And so we went out and looked out the window, and no joke, about 10 feet from the house was a big old turkey. So my daughter is not quite sure what a turkey looks like because she called it a dragon. So homeschooling over here, don't send your kids over here. They're not going to learn much. Turkeys are dragons here. So with that, we're going to start out today's episode. And today's episode is going to be a continuation of one we had earlier, which is going to be entitled The Oddities Part 2. And again, the equipment that we're going to talk about today isn't odd. It's just equipment that we don't typically see or think of in general market very often. And the first product that we're going to talk about is the Toast King that you can see in the picture here. And unless you're scouring the pages of an 11400, you don't see these very often. Very rarely is a customer going to come in and ask for one of these. But this was, believe it or not, the first conveyor toaster that Hatco had brought out. And really, it's set up for production. So this unit can do 750 to 1,500 slices based on the model that you choose. And it actually has top heat venting. So that way you don't have any of that heat coming out of the front of it like you do with the TQ3 models. It's all vented near the top. So where do you typically see these? We see these all the time. If I got $1 every time somebody showed me a picture when they were on vacation, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if it was Cancun, Cozumel, Puerto Vallarta, every single one of these resorts, they have a Toast King just like this for huge production. And sometimes it's in the front of the house, so it's not just strictly a back of the house unit. So who's the customer that wants this? Obviously somebody that's going to be doing a ton of volume, like you see here, 750 to 1,500 slices. The pieces of bread go right directly in to the cartridges that are on the front. They're kind of little cages. And then the cages take them up and around, past the heating elements, which toast them, and then they're ejected down here, as you can see, in the same toast tray that we have on the other models. Now, here's the movie reference we were talking about. And Austin, this one is just for you. Whenever I get to use one of these, it reminds me of a movie. And as I'm putting the piece of bread in the little cage right here, I'm holding my iPhone in the air yelling, Galima, Galima. It reminds me of the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, because, they get put inside there and then they get lowered into the lava pit. And although, we don't incinerate the toast, we just toast it and it comes through nicely. But that is what it reminds me of every single time. So now you can thank me for that. Every time you see a Toast King, you're going to think of the movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And if you haven't seen it, it's a classic. This weekend, if you've got a little bit of time, probably on Netflix, you can go ahead and check it out there. And next item is going to be our GRPWS. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Ryan, we've seen this before. You've done like 2 episodes on merchandisers. And you'd be correct, but this is different. It's totally different than our merchandiser. This particular unit is designed for pizzas, and specifically boxed pizzas. And the reason for that is we don't have top heat on this unit. So even though it looks just like one of our GRSDSs, this doesn't have any top heat. And the reason for that is specifically designed for box pizzas. Why is that? Well, the overhead heat, although it will provide some heat to the box itself, that box is really keeping a lot of that heat away from the pizza. And what's happening is on the inside of your box, the pizza is creating its own little environment. And therefore, when it's sitting on the heated base, which is thermostatically controlled, it's adjustable for each level, it then gives me enough temperature and it gives me the right environment inside the box to hold boxed pizzas. Now, one other cool thing about this unit is that it does have the possibilities of having a quadruple shelf, which you don't see from the other merchandisers. Reason for that is that top layer can just be open. It doesn't have to have anything on top of it. So therefore, you can actually get 4 shelves out of this. Now, one other thing that I want to point out, and I'm sure this happens all the time, when somebody's looking in our catalog and they start paging through, although we call this out as a pizza warmer, somebody just looking through the catalog or perhaps looking through the website might mistake this for a regular merchandiser. And if you look at the price difference, for example, if I look at a 24 dual unit of the GRPWS, the list price is only $32.25. But on a GRSDS 24D, which looks very similar, that list price is $43.48. So I don't want somebody to mistakenly go, well, this is a less expensive merchandiser. There's a reason for it. It doesn't have overhead heat. And if you're putting sandwiches in there, burritos perhaps, it's not going to give you the long hold that you're looking for. This is specifically designed for pizzas. Make sense? Fantastic. Now, one last update for today, and I have to share a different screen with you. We have got an excellent new update on the website today. All right, I've had this question, I don't know how many times, including from some of our own regional managers, because I've been working very closely with the locker system. But if you go here under equipment, you will see there is a brand new section, and that is the delivery and to-go section. And within it has the heated shelves and the locker system. So for those of you that have been asking and looking for a locker system spec sheet, it's on the website. So I simply go in, I have some pictures of it now, and right here, specification sheet, it will pull it right up on the screen. Now you have something for your customer that also includes dimensions. So this is a big one here. So if somebody's looking to draw this into a project, we have the dimensions here, okay? So the other one that's listed in here is also going to be our heated shelves. So you can see here, we also have the spec sheet for the heated shelves. So this has been in popular demand. Now you know that you can get it right from our website. So with that, that's going to wrap up today's awesome Friday episode. Let's take a look at the chat box here. Hopefully Austin enjoyed my movie reference, because I know that'll be clipped and used against me until the end of time. Oh, okay, so Lewis corrected me. It's actually referred to as a basket, not a cage. But again, because I think of that movie, that's why I reference it that way. So the this is a good story. See, this is stuff I don't know. Lewis told us that the GRPWS base only was actually done for a company that wanted to heat cinnamon rolls, and they still use this unit today for that purpose. So it's not just pizzas, although we call it out for pizzas, but remember, you're not going to get the overhead heat. You are only going to be getting base heat with that unit, and that's the thing to really remember. Any other product that you would put on a heated base will work in that unit. So thank you, Lou, for calling that out. Kevin, the spec sheets are now live on KCL as well. So if you do have the KCL mobile app that Kevin talked about the other day, you can find the spec sheets for the locker system and the heated shelves. Kevin, thank you for that. Chris, great addition to the website. Awesome. Matt, here's the question that I still can't answer. Lead time and pricing on the lockers and heated shelves. Joe can correct me, but I believe the heated shelves, we are taking orders now and we are making them. Joe?
That is correct. We're up and manufacturing those. The pricing should all be available on auto quotes. So we're ready to rock and roll with those shelves.
Lead time standard 8 to 10 days, Joe?
Correct.
Excellent. So there you have it on the heated shelves. Now the lockers are a little bit more tricky. I know they're going through right now. We do have a customer order in-house that we are manufacturing, I believe, next week. After that, we will have pricing and then you will have more lead time information. So coming the beginning of June, we will have that information for you. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any other questions today, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up with everyone's favorite portion of the show. We got the memes for today. Once again, Charlene Brent is coming through. Everything for summer's canceled. We may as well just put out the Christmas tree and call it a year. And the next two kind of go hand in hand together. At first, I thought I had COVID because I couldn't breathe. And then I unbuttoned my pants and it was all okay. And this is how I feel. This is me giving up on my summer body and accepting my winter body, especially after quarantine. We can maybe change this here to accepting my quarantine body. So there you have it, folks. Another great Friday. I hope everyone has an excellent weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. If you are joining on YouTube, you can always join us live using the link in the description below, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can also subscribe to the Hatco channel and hit the bell notification. That'll let you know every time that we post a new video. And please share, share, like our videos, and that'll really show us that you're enjoying the content. So thanks, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend.